Okay, take your seats, folks. Take your seats. Fasten your seatbelts and fold your tray tables away, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Harcourts Four Seasons auctions. Delighted to be your auctioneer today. Mark's my name. And three excellent properties up from the team. Jeff, Mike and Jane have got a real variety of property for you. A good solid proposition in Burnside for Jeffrey. Mike's got the fantastic 25 acres, 10 hectares in Oxford, Coopers Creek. And we're finishing with Jane, who's up in this gorgeous post-quake build in Mount Pleasant Road. So good variety. I don't think you complain that there's not something for you. And I'm sure you can take away one, if not two or three properties today. James Twist is sitting here with one of our vendors. He's our principal. Greg Roberts, you would have met as well. Rachel would have invited you in. She's our auction coordinator. She makes the job for our sales consultants at Harcourts Four Seasons very easy because she gets everything aligned for auction. So Rachel, we do appreciate that. Jeremy Andrews, who's one of our good sales team from our Hornby office, he's a whiz with the tech. So he's got the streaming going on. We're streaming via livepropertyauctions.co.nz. Thanks to those who are joining us there, be it on the buyer, seller or curiosity side. We're going to run through the conduct of auction. And do I need a little clicker? Sometimes, no, it's just going to run through automatically for me because Jeremy's got that. The rules of auction are very, very simple, and I'm going to translate that legalese into everyday speak so you're very comfortable with how we operate, knowing that there's a confidential reserve that's been set by our vendors for each of our auctions. Your job's to bid to that or even past it and hold off the competition and be that last bidder when I'll wrap my knuckles on the rostrum and sell you the property. I'll just touch on what happens if we didn't reach the reserve in the initial bidding, and it's certainly no cause for you to panic, but you do need to be the highest bidder at that juncture because I'm going to pause the auction and take you aside out into the main lounge and offer you as the highest bidder the opportunity to become the purchaser in this outstanding forum, which we know is auction, being the best place and time to buy, because I don't just say that with bias being an auctioneer, because if properties don't sell at auction, well, bad luck. You've got to go and form an orderly queue with other conditional parties who will then have their opportunity to pounce. So make sure you pounce with alacrity and with determination today and make sure you secure that property. And another reason why I stress that you need to be the highest bidder, particularly in that situation when we pause, is because clause 2.6 there says the owner can withdraw that property during that negotiation. It doesn't come back to the auction floor and you may not get another chance. So just be mindful of that. It is the owner's prerogative, but not their intention to do so. As the auctioneer, I've got some roles and responsibilities. I can nominate the sum by which bidding's increased. I can refuse bids, but only if they're ultra cheeky, and any unlikely disputes, I get to determine those as well. You may hear me placing vendor bids. I've got the sole authority to place those, and I would only place a vendor bid if you're not bidding, which is really unlikely as well, I know. From the team at Harcourts, if you're bidding for buyers, I just identify you to the rest of the room. I've seen some phone bidding authorities today, and that's often the case that we have in the room. Man goes the knuckles. You win the auction. Your obligations to formalise the sale are very, very simple, but they are significant. We're going to need you to sign the agreement. We do need a deposit today, 10% of the winning bid, 10% of the purchase price. So that's quite reasonable, isn't it? You pay the balance on settlement. And we've got copies of the REA Residential Sale and Purchase Agreements Guide to give you when you're successful, and that's just got good information for you around settlement and possession, which will be handy. Thanks for signing the purchaser acknowledgement form prior to bidding. That just states you're eligible to buy real estate in New Zealand by way of citizenship or residency. We're going to move on to the first lot of the day. Jeff Twist is my man, the lead marketing consultant. He's moved mountains and got every little bit of information in your hands. So you're here in a solid position and ready to bid. Yusra is our vendor. She's done a lot of work getting the property ready for you and it's set to go. In Burnside, of course, very handy to the Burnside High School, which I know will have appeal to you. And of course, the freehold tenure. The strongest tenure in the New Zealand Real Estate Registry is the freehold, and the parcel of land 639 squares. So it's a desirable portion of land, that's for sure. Legal description and chattels are unchanged. You've got time to sort your affairs through to the 11th of August for that settlement date to take place, when you'll get the keys and move on in. If you're working to a different date and that's been agreed in writing, naturally we'll abide by that for you. Have you been following the news? Have you been following the property market? all the chat seems to be that we have had a little bit of a decline, less so in Canterbury compared to the rest of the country, but that seems to have has ceased, and our stats are supporting that. I think there's life in the market. So what a great opportunity to buy a property like this. Solid red brick and tile, you know the reliability of it, you know the community that surrounds it, the school zonings that make it so appealing. You've got the upside to buy while that index is low, and you just watch your capital grow. Put the effort in, put your own personality upon the home, and really lift it up to the next level. It's very, very comfortable as it is. It's warm and sunny. You've got a great section, good double garage, 3 bedrooms of course, and in a very quiet street which we know as Charlcott. Okay, we're going to kick it away in the bidding. Have we got a starting bid? Are you all ready? You're at the starting point. I'm now calling for your opening salvo. Who's going to start us away?
560.
560?
Yep.
Ben Ban from our Harcourts team has started the bidding at 560. It's a reasonable start, so away we go at 560. I'll count into 10,000 from here, but my opening bidder's got his strategy worked out at 560,000. Now's the time to move into Charlcott Street. Do I see 70 anywhere? At 560,000 for the first occasion. Second chance and third at 560. Well, I'll put in a quick vendor bid for you, Ben, at 570 and invite you 580 with Jay. Jay Wang from the Harcourts team, always working as buyers in the room at 580. No more vendor bids.
590.
590, says Benny. Comes back like Brill Cream at 590. And 6. Easy he does. Easy and he goes at 600,000.
610.
610. Ben Ban's gone up, taken the lead at 610. 20, I'm assuming, Jay. First call at 610. As I search the room, don't let me miss your bids. 2-horse race at this stage at 610,000 on the first occasion. Second call. Third call. 5,000 takes me through to the 620 straight back, Ben. Good bid's a quick bid. At 620,000. This is the property synonymous with Christchurch. These are what, 5 more at 625. At 625, and James might just give me some instructions when he's ready at 625, with Jay's bidder at the rear but in front. First call. Second call. You're not far from Nunweek either. Third, 626. 626, Jay. Just 1,000. You've got to go 630, I know. These guys do plenty of auctions. They know how it works. Another 2. 628. Now's the time, Yusra. James, now it is. At 628.
Change of instructions. We're on the market.
Good on you, Yusra. We're on the market. There you go, Jay. At 628, I sell away at Charlcott Street. At 628. Now is the time, sir. You've got to race to 30 quickly. Strategy, psychology. 628, and it goes. It goes. What are you got to do? You're nearly there. 628, quickly. 30. 628. Otherwise, I've got to sell it down to Jay. He's clenched his fist already. But he's not there, sir. What about 1,000? Quickly. First call. 629. There you go, Jay. Premature celebrations. 629 twice. He's smiling. Third call at 629, so that could have been the best 1,000 you've ever spent. 629. 630. 630. And my mentor said, never let them stop on an even number. It could be their very last pick. I don't mind. 630, wake up time, wake up call. Sir, have you got 500 for me? Once. And second, get in there, roll the sleeves up. Shoulders back, sir. $1,500, I don't mind. Third chance, Jay Wang, you're in the lead. Better test them out. Ben will be stressing you out to say, come on, you've got to do it. Quickly, 3, 2, 1. Relax with your decision, sir. Comfortable, Jay, congratulations. It's gone and sold to you. Well done. Well, very good effort, and thanks, Ben. Great bidding. Thank you all for attending that particular auction, and well done, Jeff Twist, Yusra. You have done the job. That's okay, good stuff. Well done, Jeffrey. Okie dokie, well, from Burnside to Oxford to Coopers Creek, Mike Brown, our lead marketing consultant. Now, you know Mike, you would have seen his signs and his profile all around. He's a successful city agent, but he does a lot of lifestyle properties and rural, and I think this might be his favourite kind. We're representing Ben and Gemma, so thank you very much for the instructions. I hope Ben's friends aren't watching because they like going to the Mai, and they've had a lovely May getting out there and stoking up the fire and enjoying some peace and quiet. There's your duck pond right there. How about that? Having your very own at 508 Bush Road, Coopers Creek, just 5 minutes from the Oxford Township. What a setting, what a backdrop. And we'll talk more about it. Freehold, of course, and it is 10.1171 hectares, which in the old person speak, I think is around about 25 acres. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the legal description is excellent. Rural section 1980, and that's the year I want to touch on as well. It's in folio 21K, volume 21K, folio 114, and that certificate of title tucked away in the Canterbury Land Registry. The cattle yards, that's a chattel you don't see very often, but we've got some for you here at Bush Road, and settlement date 28th of June. You can turn it around quickly. We've got flexibility in that date, so you just get in and get busy. 1980 is the legal description on that deposited plan, but I want to take you back to that year when I think in 1980 we took properties like this a little bit for granted, but now the world's moved on a little bit, hasn't it? And I think there's a little bit more value in these with the world, you know, everything that's happening. Why wouldn't you want to be in this position where you've got just the best of Aotearoa, the best of our natural beauty, and you own it? You've got 25 acres, 10.1 hectares. You've got your very own private small river, the Coopers Creek. I mean, how good is that? That water is pure and clean. The duck pond, the Mai, it's superb. And I just wanted to see some images of the inside of that. It's a great space. Ben and his friends always make an annual trip, twice annual, and enjoy a little bit of duck sport out there. The paddocks themselves, they're arable and they are fruitful. You've got lovely shelter, good bush. There's a number of building platforms that you might choose. You've got the water storage with the big tank on the property. Also, easy to Oxford, 5 minutes. Rangiora not far away, and just around about 40 minutes, and you'll be in the middle of Christchurch. So it doesn't get too much better than that. I offer it up to you now, your own piece of paradise at a level I think you're going to find affordable, and with years to come, you'll look back and tell your grandchildren and they won't believe that's what you paid for it. Start us where? Spring from the bush at 508 Bush Road. Who says go? Well, heck, I mean, we'd start in the mid-threes. I don't mind that, just to get you comfortable and get your bidding. I was probably showing some shock at that suggestion, but with mid-350, 10.1171 hectares of glorious Kiwiana. With those hills, your backdrop, awesome opportunity. First call, second call, third, is there 20 to go? Ma'am, you must be tempted at those levels. Would you even say 370 for me? Have a little bid. Could be yours. At 350 on a vendor bid at this stage. You might be the only bidder. Could put you in the box seat. Give you a moment. Do it with logic. We'd all own it at that level, surely. If the rat race gets too tough for you, this is where you want to be, Bush Road. Peaceful existence. Fulfilling. Really nearing the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs here. Self-actualisation is what we offer you. First, second, third, ma'am, you're not going to put your hand up for me? Say 370. You never know. Shake of the head. Don't want you to damage yourself chiropractically. Sooner see a nod. No? Okay, well, I'll treat it with respect, Mike. We go to that next stage. That means you invite all parties, of course, which I know. I saw the list of people that want to hear from you. They've got to be better than 450. I think that would be quite clear. So that's the figure I'm passing in at. That's a vendor bid at 450. But that's where I pass the property, and we're saying buyers north of that figure because the property is north of us here, isn't it? Okay, back to Mike Brown from our Hornby office. To Ben and Gemma, we just carry on working. You've got to put up Mike with a little bit longer, but not too much longer, I'm sure. Okie dokie, we're going on. Jane Martin, who's our rock star from the Kaipoi office, working in the city. Jane, out in an area you know so well at Mount Pleasant. And Deneen and Carl, thanks for your instructions. The one and only owner of this glorious property at 103 Mount Pleasant Road in Mount Pleasant. I come from South Canterbury. We've got a mount there called Mount Horrible, so I think I prefer this one being Mount Pleasant. That is for sure. And pleasant it is. Built in around 2014, I think this one, but a brand new kitchen that's just been fitted, which I think will appeal to you. It's got that modern feel. It sits on 666 squares here. Is this freehold proposition? Lot 1 deposited plan 76296 in that Canterbury Land Registry with unchanged chattels and a settlement date. That's a sensible, I would say, 6 weeks away at the 28th of July 2023 is what you bid for and buy. I think it's quite evident that the home and the Roberts had a great relationship with their architect, and they worked collaboratively to produce what you see before you and what you've experienced and inspected through Jane and with your consultant Pierre. I think you've been through as well with your buyers. Look at the product. I think it's moulded perfectly into the site, optimises your position, which I think has got a glorious outlook. There's no doubt about that. Expansive open plan living. Love the balcony that flows out, walls of windows, just so you enjoy the panacea of that panorama. When you look through the bedroom accommodation and the bathrooms, ensuite and bathroom, they're beautifully finished. High spec appointments throughout, you can tell from that. And with the sensible bedroom layout, you've got a great opportunity for outdoor living at the rear to soak in the sun. You're sheltered, and with that barbecue area, crow's nest views of out across the estuary and across to the ocean, the main divide. The kaikuras are evident in the distance. Awesome drive on and in double internal access garaging with superior storage down there as well. All in all, it's a sparkling proposition. You're part of a wonderful community and one I'm sure you're looking forward to moving in. Okie dokes, well let's achieve that for you. Start us away in the bidding at 103 Mount Pleasant Road. Do I have an opening bid from the floor?
750, right?
It's 103 Mount Pleasant Road. Charlcott Street was before, sorry. It's too light.
100.
Is there anything better than 800? Shady, I better work with you. 800,000. I'm not going to veto bid against you. Unless you'd like to bid against this bid, I'm going to pause and talk to Shady. First call, second, third. It's you and I, Shady. Come on, I'll talk privately with you. We'll offer you the opportunity.
used to be the lost boy running insane. I used to be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it, so hard to get it. I used to be the one living in the fast lane. I used to be the one who only cried in the rain. I used to work so hard to get it, so hard to get it. So hard to get it.
Take a bit longer. Brief negotiations. Speaking with Shady Gurja's buyer, look, we have made some progress, but not sufficient progress to get it sold. I think the news is good, Pierre, for you. I'm going to pass the property in on a vendor bid at $1,180,000, and we're going to invite buyers above that figure. So at $1,180,000, you can see with the modernity of the home and that beautiful new kitchen that's been installed, integrated fridge and that moulded sink, you know it's high quality. Not for sale at $1,180,000 is what we're saying. I'll pass it back to Jane Martin. We carry on working with all parties and wish you the best. So 103 Mount Pleasant Road is available to you. I think that should be pretty enticing at those levels, Pierre. Well, thanks for coming along, to everybody for coming to our auctions today. A good quick session. Jane Martin's the one to speak to for 103 Mount Pleasant Road, 508 Bush Road, Mike Brown. Remember that has been passed in on a vendor bid at
Be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it. I used to be the one living in the fast lane. Used to be the one who only cried in the rain. I used to work so